Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this live stream. Guess you could say HA before, well, HA in the evening, not so much after dark. It's not the middle of the night. I'll just get right to it. So, Trump does not risk obstruction of justice charges. That's completely ridiculous and absurd. And really quickly, I wish I could make it less price, but so I'm going through YouTube and you can get your own profanity alert shirt. I'll put the link a little later. But and actually, if there's two purchased, I know Eric H526, go ahead and cancel your purchase because I actually canceled that shirt because I spelled alert wrong. So sorry about that. So if you bought a profanity alert shirt, there's only two like that because I only did a couple hours ago. I saw two had been purchased. I know Eric purchased one. So definitely cancel that. But here's the link right now. Here's the link. And so I think by tomorrow there should be like some kind of like button or like icon you can press on the channel to like to buy the shirt. But that's the link, and I'll go ahead and send the link a little later as well. But anyway, it's my profanity alert shirt. On the back it says watch HA now. So whatever. We'll see how that goes, and then I can just go ahead and start other shirts like but her top secret emails, all that stuff. But so that is just something that YouTube allows. We have 176 people, 200 people in 2 minutes. It's going to be a good, very good live stream. So let's just get right to it. And then we can listen to Alan Dershowitz because he is awesome regarding this. To cut a long story short, ladies and gentlemen, to my super chat, thank you so very much. You give me every incentive to keep rocking these live streams. And what they did was this. They began an investigation based on hearsay and gossip. So the investigation should never have taken place. Then once they began and started conducting a fraudulent investigation, an investigation based on hearsay, gossip, zero evidence of the major claims, no evidence of Trump-Russia collusion, no direct evidence of anything, not even any claim of a specific crime, no statute that collusion breaks. So it's an investigation into something that actually isn't against the law. Then what they do is they say, well, you know what? You were trying to impede or obstruct the investigation into nothing. How dare you? And it's just like, it's unbelievable. Tony Podesta is now under formal criminal investigation. The Manafort might actually win his case because some of the evidence was illegally obtained. And the judge really just basically has already stated that they already know, he knows, Judge Ellis knows that the only reason they want Manafort is to hurt Trump. Pat Connolly, thank you, HA, for all you do. Pat, thank you so very, very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated, Pat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pat Connolly. Thank you. So it's all a bunch of nonsense. And he has the right to fire Comey or Mueller, especially since there are now a great many conflicts of interest. So this is Time Magazine. Let me go ahead and give you the Time Magazine article. Here's the Time Magazine article. Here's the Time Magazine article. President Trump is actually allowed to have Robert Mueller fired, according to the Constitution. After months of speculation about whether or not President Donald Trump might be tempted to fire special counsel Robert Mueller, who was leading the investigation this is January of 2018. He should have done it in January. But after months of speculation about whether or not President Donald Trump might be tempted to fire special counsel Robert Mueller, who was leading the investigation into Russian election meddling in 2016. Yes, because Buff Bernie coloring book, swung the election. The New York Times reports that Trump actually did order Mueller fired last June. Good. Only to back down after top White House lawyer Donald McGahn threatened to quit. He should have let the guy quit. This is stupid. They could have they would have had nothing to talk about. Trump has dismissed the report as fake news. His critics have seized on it, with Virginia Democratic Senator Mark Warner saying that such an action would be crossing a red line. A red line to what? The Steele dossier? I have never in my life seen so many people, even people who were smart enough to know better, even people who don't hate Trump. I have never seen so many people fall for such an overt charade. This is even worse, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually even worse than Hillary 2016. Because this is an example of James Clapper. Not wittingly, no. This is an example of mass delusion. They've started an investigation without a crime, without a predicate crime, and without evidence of not just a predicate crime, but without evidence of what their major claim is. There's zero evidence of collusion, which isn't even a crime. And then it goes on, Trump technically does have the right to have a special counsel like Mueller fired. And the reason goes back to the Constitution. So Alan Dershowitz has been very outspoken regarding this, professor at Harvard. But Katie Herringer, a professor at Wake Forest University and author of The Special Prosecutor in American Politics, says that's because of the complicated history of the job Mueller holds. The job has gone through many permutations over the many years. It was first used in response to the whiskey ring scandal of the 1870s, but it's important to note that the theoretical underpinnings of the president's power over such a position go back to the beginning. In Article 2 of the Constitution, it does not say that he has to take care that laws are faithfully executed. That's the source of his enforcement power. It does say that he has to take care that laws are faithfully executed. The courts said a long time ago that officers who are executing the power on behalf of the president, the courts said a long time ago that officers who are executing that power on behalf of the president have to be removable by him. So, Article 1, Section 2. Oh, sorry. Article 2. He shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed and shall commission all of the officers of the United States. In Article 2 of the Constitution, it does say that he has to take care that the laws are faithfully executed. That's the source of his enforcement power. The court said a long time ago that officers who are executing that power on behalf of the president have to be removable by him. The way the rules are currently written, the special counsel reports directly to the person who appointed him. In Mueller's case, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. But again, Rosenstein's power can ultimately be traced back to the president. As a result, just as the case with Richard Nixon's infamous Saturday Night Massacre, an historical episode that was oft invoked in recent months, Trump could ask the people below him to fire the person he wants fired. And if the person in the middle objects, he or she can resign or be fired until someone in the chain of command obeys. Only difference, though, however, is there was an actual crime, a break-in in Watergate. There was no high confidence to moderate confidence that there was a break-in. And so, as a result, so the president could choose to defy the convention and do the firing himself, though that doing so might provoke litigation. Still, even if someone else pulls the trigger, it's the president's authority behind that decision. He has the right. So no one can say he doesn't have the right. It's in Article 2 of the Constitution. And he's in the issue of why he's being investigated is also an issue. This is an investigation based on the confidence of intelligence communities run by people who hate him and loyal to Hillary Clinton. It was completely and utterly partisan. It was completely and utterly partisan. But don't take my word for it. Here is Alan Dershowitz. Hold on. Dershowitz. Trump, Article 2, fire Mueller.
As obvious as it sounds, the Justice Department's Inspector General just Times report that the president wanted to axe Mueller, and McGahn said, "Can't do it. You do it. I'm out."
Well, it just shows you that everybody should listen to their lawyers, whether you're the president of the United States or anybody else.
So he didn't think it's a good idea to fire Mueller initially, Dershowitz. He might not even think it's the best idea now, but he absolutely believes it's the right of the president to do so. And you cannot say that if the rebuttal is that he's firing Mueller because he's afraid of something. Well, what is he afraid of? The charge or the claim is that he colluded. Well, that's not even, there's no statute regarding that. Then they say, well, it's conspiracy. Well, then you still haven't proven that either. They've been spying on him since 2015. The Mueller probe has been around over a year. They have zero evidence of anything. Obviously, they're lying. If you don't have evidence after 4 years or even after 1 year, you're lying. You have the NSA at your disposal, the CIA, the FBI, they have nothing. So there's nothing there. With Clinton, you had a mountain of evidence, but she didn't intentionally do it. That's the problem. Then you have the issue, and of course, like, look, on Fox News, there was somebody, who was it? Juan Williams was saying, oh, well, there's a lot of people at the Trump rallies who are Q supporters. You wouldn't have, I'm not into Q, and respectfully, I don't believe in, paying attention to a letter, even if the letter is right sometimes. You don't know who's leading you astray or could lead you astray. But you wouldn't have a Q if Hillary didn't say she used a private server for convenience and deleted yoga emails. You wouldn't have Q. You wouldn't have people who want the truth because they've been fed so much fake news. Dave Masker, did you ever check the hashtag We the People Patriot Soapbox 24/7 live? You have to check it out. You will enjoy it and you'll have so much to offer. It's on YouTube. I definitely will. Let me go ahead and look at it right now. Really quickly. Okay. Oh. It looks cool. I'll definitely check it out. I will check it out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave Masker. Thank you. Just checked it out. Here's Dershowitz, though. Okay.
McGahn's advice was very, very sound advice. Look, the president has the constitutional authority to fire anybody in the executive branch. The Supreme Court has held that. On the other hand, it would have been very unwise politically, and it would have sounded like an admission of some kind of guilt. He's so much better off following his current lawyer's advice as well, which says, look, be nice to Mueller.
So that's just one example. So, but Dershowitz, Trump can fire Mueller. There's no case for obstruction of justice against Trump. So here's Dershowitz.
The Judiciary Committee has an investigation going as well, and it involves obstruction of justice. And I think
all they've done is Hillary was so utterly just pathetic and corrupt, and she was just so full of real crimes that they all had to work overtime to cover up. What they did was they fabricated, because nobody could believe Trump won. So nobody could believe Trump won. And what they did then is they said, well, Russia, so it's all relative. It's all relative. It's all relative. And it's not all relative. He didn't commit any crime. She did. But here's Dershowitz.
What we're beginning to see is the putting together of a case of obstruction of justice.
And by the way, they've been talking about this since 2017. There's no obstruction of justice on anything. Item 31458. PRI and Trust has no vote on president impeachment. Paul Ryan, yeah, I mean, he's not going to be Speaker of the House after November. He's gone. Yeah. We have almost 500 people. Please go ahead and share this segment if you're on Facebook or Twitter. But let's continue.
Really? Is that the way it is? Democratic Senator and ranking member of the Senate Judiciary Committee, Dianne Feinstein, who's being primaried, by the way, claiming she sees an obstruction of justice case forming against President Trump. Is there actually a case? Let's ask Harvard Law School professor, lifelong Democrat, and author of Trumped Up. It says still out right now, Alan Dershowitz. Professor, is she right? Do you see a case for obstruction building?
No, I don't. And I think if Congress ever were to charge him with obstruction of justice for exercising his constitutional authority under Article 2, we have a constitutional crisis. You cannot charge a president with obstruction of justice for exercising his constitutional power to fire Comey.
You cannot charge a president for obstruction of justice for exercising his constitutional authority to fire Comey. Fire Comey or Mueller. Well, Comey was less controversial. The Inspector General report said that he should have been fired. Maybe not verbatim, but gave the justification for firing. He was insubordinate. He did things he shouldn't have done. He broke protocol. You would get fired anywhere. You would get fired anywhere. And then the New York Post, how Q became the biggest conspiracy theory at Trump rallies. This is the thing with... My rebuttal to that would be you wouldn't have the Q thing if there wasn't... If you wouldn't have Q if you didn't have Hillary Clinton saying she deleted yoga emails in her basement for convenience. And Loretta Lynch speaking about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. So... But let's hear that again.
His constitutional authority under Article 2, we'd have a constitutional crisis. You cannot charge a president with obstruction of justice for exercising his constitutional power to fire Comey and his constitutional authority to tell the Justice Department who to investigate, who not to investigate. That's what Thomas Jefferson did. That's what Lincoln did. That's what Roosevelt did. We have precedents that clearly establish that when George Bush, the first, pardoned Caspar Weinberger in order to end the investigation that would have led to him. Nobody suggested obstruction of justice.
So George Herbert Walker pardons Caspar Weinberger just to ensure that he doesn't get investigated. And remember, everything bad started with Trump. Everything bad started with Trump. And it's like, so we have 450 people. If you want a profanity alert shirt, I apologize. It's somewhat expensive. Well, it's $20, but you can have one if you want it. Here's the link. YouTube is, there should be a link on YouTube tomorrow, like to buy a shirts, but so I just went through the YouTube thingy. And if you want to prevent, thank you, Phoebe Beach. Thank you. If you want a profanity alert shirt, and I have world-class designers. They instructed me as 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 exclamation points. And then on the back, it says watch HA now. Whatever. But Snooch, thank you. You are the most trustworthy source of the truth on YouTube. Keep up the great work, HA. Thank you. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. It's SN00CH. Well, I'm just going to say Snooch. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you. I do need a session, sir. I think the next batch of shirts I'm going to put it in the profane, like the but her top secret emails type thing. But $5,000. I apologize, everybody. They're about 25. They're ostrich skin shirts. Yes, Manafort style. Manafort style. Yeah, you know what? No. If that's just, and I just want to thank everyone for, thank you all for just watching. My goodness. But if you, no need to buy any shirt at all, or even get to the super chat or anything, just thank you so very much. So you're all just wonderful. Frank, rocket from a sub. Why is the not making you check out Brendan and Avenatti's tweets today? They had pre-knowledge. I will do so. Frank, thank you so very much, as always. Frank, thank you so very much, as always. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, as always, Frank. The Bot 2007. Trump can do this constitutionally, but would it be smart to do politically? The Bot 2007, I have stated for a long time, yes. Look, my vantage point is, what do the Democrats have? How can they hurt? How can they retaliate? The best way to deal with somebody who threatens you, especially if they have nothing, is to say, go ahead. And even if they have something on you, if someone is going to try to extort you or bribe you or threaten you or blackmail you, just doing whatever. Oh, I have a tape of you having sex. Go, that's fine. Go ahead. Whatever. It's now very accepted today. Do it. See what happens. They're, in my view, they're blackmailing and they're extorting Trump. Because the bot 2007, I agree with you. Perhaps it could have been a bad move prior, but I think it's a very good move now. They have nothing. Brandon Wolf, you have made a difference in my news analysis. You're one of the old media. You're the one the old media fear. You are one that the old media fear. Let's take them apart. And thanks for the education, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon, for watching. And I'm greatly appreciative that you and everybody else watch. Thank you, Brandon, for the kind words. Thank you so very much, Fred Torres. Fred, thank you so very much, Fred. Thank you, Fred. Greatly appreciated. Thank you, Fred Torres. Thank you. Snooch, you pronounced it right. You rock, HA. Thank you. Thank you, Snooch. Thank you, Snooch. Frank, you just ignored. You were scared of the truth. Frank, I did not ignore your comment. I want to abide by YouTube policies. That's all, Frank. I thank you for your support of this channel. And you know I thank you for your support. Just today, there was a super chat. Someone put a name that I didn't like or whatever, a name that was controversial with a picture that was controversial. So I had to delete even the super chat or remove even the super chat. It was a $500 super chat. No, I'm joking. It was but I'm saying but Frank, I respect everything that you bring up. I just have to abide by certain YouTube policies. That's all. But I didn't mean to ignore it. It's just that I have to abide by certain policies. Snooch, thank you. Frank, as always, thank you. Fred Torres, thank you. Brandon Wolf, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. And Frank, thank you again, as always. Thank you, Frank, as always. Look. Oh, man. Here we go. Q. Okay, so now Q. I knew this would happen. I knew this would happen. Frank, thank you. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. So the Q, let me just read the whole Q thing again. New York Post. And now they're saying, good Q. And again, you don't have to really worry about who cares what. But the rebuttal would be, the biggest conspiracy theories. No, the conspiracy theory is that Hillary Clinton used a unencrypted private server for convenience and for yoga. That's what the review is. That's the rebuttal is. Q goes from 4chan to forefront at Trump rally. So they're going to paint everybody, and that's the thing. That's the problem. That's the problem with the Q thing. And now, how do you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is with all due respect, and I'm not saying, how do you know the whole Q thing is not a psyop from the Dem Party? How do you know? I never was. It's not that certain things could be right, certain things could be wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that how do you know it's not a propaganda ploy from the people who want to paint everyone as a crazy conspiracy theorist who that's my point. The same thing with the whole Comet Pizza thing. I never believed in that, thing. Not to say, of course, there are, people committing horrible, heinous acts. Yes, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that that doesn't take place, but what I am saying is a conspiracy theory, whether it's Comet Pizza or Trump Russia or Q or, Y2K, which there you go. I mean, it's everything. If there are major claims made without any proof, what they've done is they've legitimized their conspiracy theory. So the left has a conspiracy theory on, the Steele dossier. And don't you know that the judges signed off? So judges signed off on a conspiracy theory. And people signed off. And FBI agents signed off on a conspiracy theory. Big deal. Big deal. Who cares? It's still a conspiracy theory. It's still a conspiracy. What the problem is when people make a claim, I have never stated that categorically the DNC or Hillary Clinton killed anyone. Never. And that's the difference. If you type in H.A. Goodman and RT and, those topics we talk about or that have been spoken about, I've never stated categorically, even on that episode. I don't state categorically anything. It could be a conspiracy. You're right. A conspiracy. Listen, there are conspiracies. There was a conspiracy to undermine and undermine and take down Trump. We know because Strzok actually wrote it down. Peter Strzok's text messages are not conspiracy theory. He wrote it down. And then he lied and said, oh, yeah, I didn't mean what I said. He meant what he said. Peter Strzok was part of a conspiracy. He wrote down, we'll stop Trump. We have an insurance policy. He wrote those down on the text messages. Even the IG stated that, he was pretty biased. I could, but this is the thing. Even if I was wrong, I would never know because it's a letter. So people say, H.A., you're going to be wrong on this. I don't know. What if he changes his or her name to L or M? It's not that Q could not be accurate. Let's say that Q is accurate on certain things. Let's say Q is not accurate on a lot of things. The issue is that it's a letter. That was my whole issue. Why I didn't believe the whole Pizzagate thing or anything else. You can go look at, come on, look what it says. This is coded. Okay, possibly, perhaps, certain things could be coded, certain things could not be coded. I don't know. But there needs to be the hypothesis has to be backed up by facts, by evidence, not just a letter. But I'll end with that. Dave Masker, how are the Republicans going to do in the midterms? Need your thought on the most important election probably in history. The Republicans are going to keep control of the House, and they're probably going to add in the Senate. Democrats are done, especially David, when Kavanaugh, Snooch, happy haircut, by the way. Yes. Yeah, I got it shaved the other day. Thank you, Snooch. So, David, once Kavanaugh is confirmed, hopefully in October, that'll blow the sails completely out of the Democratic Party. I'm not going to tell them what to do, but they should fight tooth and nail to not get Kavanaugh confirmed. But, Tony Red Peppers, please let me submit some ideas for shirts your way. That'd be awesome. Yeah, just I'm at H.A. Goodman author. So I'm at H.A. Goodman author, at H.A. Goodman author on Twitter. But David, I think that Republicans are going to, what's taking place also is that there are some progressive candidates that are knocking off. Again, I'm not dissing Q. I don't even know what it is. I'm not dissing Q. I'm not dissing Q people. I'm not dissing Q. What I'm saying is I don't believe in a letter. That's all. That's not a diss. That's just, I don't know who's behind the letter. What if Hillary was Q? Ah? What if Hillary Clinton was Q? Is it possible that Hillary Clinton was Q? Is it possible? Because now you're getting articles, hey, Q and Trump and crazy people. Look at these guys. Do you really want them in power? Look at the Q. And you know how many times I've heard, Comet Pizza? I'm talking about something completely different. Like, oh yeah, a Comet Pizza. Like, stupid. I'm talking about like foreign policy. I'm talking about North Korea. You bring this up. What does that even have to do with anything? Or on Clinton's server, which is factual, which is like mounds loads of, I bet you believe that too, huh? I bet you believe this, huh? No. They even said that now. They even go ahead and said, so one of my friends asks who is selling Q shirts. Oh man, the Yahtzee one. No, I am not. I'm not Q. I'll take on my California compliance. I am not Q. HA's head resembles the Q letter. Who loves you, baby? Yes. The Yahtzee one. Thank you, the Yahtzee one. I am not Q. I'm H. Letter before Q. What if Hillary was Q? No, I am not. That's funny. That's one of the reasons that I've become such a big Second Amendment guy. Last thing I need is to load the 7.62 by 39. I'm not Q. Ah! Anyway, so (3D printer). Oh my God, technology. I remember when pagers were. Do you remember when pagers were cool? Or like, I love you. 143, 143, 143. Tootsie Roll. I love Tootsie Rolls. Although now I had dental work, I don't know if I can eat the Tootsie Roll. My teeth will fall off. They'll get stuck in the thing, the taffy. Okay, Dershowitz, let's continue. Let's listen to this again.
Who to investigate, who not to investigate. That's what Thomas Jefferson did. That's what Lincoln did. That's what Roosevelt did.
It's what Trump.
We have precedents that clearly establish that. When George Bush the first pardoned Caspar Weinberger in order to end the investigation that would have led to him, nobody suggested obstruction of justice. For obstruction of justice by the president, you need clearly illegal acts.
You need clearly illegal acts. G. Taylor. Hillary can't be Q. She can't even get C right. Exactly. Well, that's the point. That's the point. I mean, that's the point. The only thing the left has is to make the right look stupid. Could be a funny rebuttal from the right. Oh, look what this happened. Oh, look what the same thing you could say for the left. Gee, Taylor, you're right. She can't even get C confidential. Exactly. The Yahtzee won. HA's head resembles the Q letter. Yes. C's for can't call. Eric H526. That's good. That's good. Wow, it's rocking tonight. And the pre-dark. Not so much. Not HA in the evening. HA in the evening. So let's continue.
With Nixon, hush money paid, telling people to lie, destroying evidence. Even with Clinton, They said that he tried to influence potential witnesses not to tell the truth. But there's never been a case in history where a president has been charged with obstruction of justice.
But Clinton got the fill in the blank. Clinton got the fill in the blank. Watergate was broken into, the Watergate building. We don't know what happened in the DNC. They obviously are hiding. They didn't give their servers. They obviously are hiding. They're obviously hiding. They didn't give their servers. Obviously. How about an IPAC for concealed carriers? An IPAC from the for the 3D? The 3D thing? IPAC. Snooch. Am I missing something? IPAC. Huh. Oh. There's actually a company with it. Okay. Snooch, thank you. Fanny packs.
Justice from merely exercising his constitutional authority, that he tried to influence potential witnesses not to tell the truth. But there's never been a case in history where a president has been charged with obstruction of justice from merely exercising his constitutional authority. That would cause a constitutional crisis in the United States, and I hope Mueller doesn't do that, and Senator Feinstein simply doesn't know what she's talking about when she says it's obstruction of justice to do what a president is completely authorized to do under the Constitution. So
it's not obstruction of justice when the president's completely authorized to do. When the president is completely, I know I do resemble Uncle Fester. It's the lighting and everything. As you can see, I have this CGI background and fantastic lighting, but the dark under the eyes, it's partly the camera also, but ostrich holsters, yes. So let's continue.
We get specific. For example, going up to the chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee and saying to Senator Burr, "Hey guys, can you wrap this up? Where are you at with this committee? Can you wrap this up quick?" Is that obstruction?
Of course not. The president has authority to speak to Congress, tell Congress what he wants to do, and Congress has the power to say no. We have separation of powers. You can't have obstruction of justice by each party to separation of powers exercising their authority. Look, the president could have pardoned Flynn if he were really thinking about trying to end this investigation.
And he should. And he should have pardoned every person that Mueller tried to touch and say, sorry, Mueller, sorry, buddy, not Trump-Russia collusion. Try again.
He would have pardoned Flynn, and then Flynn wouldn't be cooperating with the other side, and the president would have had the complete authority to do so, and Flynn never would have been indicted, never would have turned as a witness against him. So I think.
But Flynn has never done anything. Yeah, this is 2017. Michael Flynn should be completely exonerated, clear. He's an honorable man. So
the fact that the president hasn't pardoned Flynn, even though he has the power to do so, is very good evidence there's no obstruction of justice going on here.
Right. I think you need people, some channels are hoping to see this, and some senators are trying to go over. Right. And
over reality.
Yeah.
And the other thing they're claiming is that by the president trying to influence foreign policy during his transition, for example, by having Flynn talk to the Russian ambassador Kislyak and say, please either vote against the UN resolution or delay the UN resolution. Somehow that's wrong. That was the right thing to do.
Gotcha.
I think he did absolutely the right thing, but
So Dershowitz is right. Scott Bigler. It amazes me how many congressmen and women don't know the Constitution. Even if he could be seen as obstructing justice, there would need to be a crime that he was obstructing the justice of. Exactly, Scott. Exactly, absolutely. I agree 100% with you, Scott Bigler. Exactly. There's no crime. What all of this is about, making Hillary Clinton look just the same in terms of criminal behavior as Trump. Problem is, everybody knows that anybody who has paid attention to this knows that Clinton actually did commit crimes. Trump did not. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you, everybody. Trump did not. Scott Bigler, thank you so very much. I'll read it again. It's amazing to me how many congressmen and women don't know the Constitution. Even if he could be seen as obstructing justice, there would need to be a crime that he was obstructing the justice of. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you, Amy, for letting me know. Yes, sometimes YouTube does that. They like spread out the notifications. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a profanity alert shirt, it's $20. It's here. I know it's expensive, but if you want a shirt, there it is. If you've watched me from when I was lagging behind, iPack for the t-shirt idea. Oh, iPack. That's right. Okay. I got you now. Second Amendment action. Yeah. Oh, well. Then they might, again, with the policies. But Snooch, thank you. Thank you, Snooch. Thank you so much. Yeah, that is a good idea, though. If I had more leeway, this is connected to YouTube. It's from Teespring, a company that is connected to YouTube or, outsourced by YouTube. It's pretty cool. Took me a second to kind of course, I misspelled alert because I'm an idiot. And I had to redo it. So, Eric, I know, cancel your order and of the old one. And then there's HA action figure set. You can actually, I think it's like $150. You can get your own action figure, something like that. There's a couple companies that do that, or a company that does that. Snooch, thank you so very much, Snooch. Thank you, Scott Bigler. Thank you again, Snooch. Thank you. Got this YouTube chat is going off. So, Tamara Friedman, I always love watching your channel. Thank you. Tamara, we love having you here and you watching. Thank you so very much, Tamara. Thank you. I'm reading some of the comments here. Thank you, Tamara Friedman. Thank you as always. Thank you as always, Tamara. So, there's no obstruction of justice. George the Animal. So I am now George the Animal Steel as well. United States Space Force? Is this real? This can't be real, is it? That's hilarious. I have no idea if this is real or not. U.S. Air Force Space Command. Space Command. This looks real. Yep, that looks real. All right. So ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, so Tamara Friedman, thank you again. Tamara, thank you. Snooch, thank you again. So ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, this is all about nothing. This is all about, you know, the usual nonsense. I do laugh at Q, but I don't want you to stop coming here. That's the thing. When you get too emotional over a letter, it's no good. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. I want everyone who listens to Q to watch me, but I don't think Q is legit. But that shouldn't elicit an angry or frustrated or angry or resentful reaction, because Q is a letter. Like L and A, B, C, D, I can go through the letter of the alphabet. Letters of the alphabet. I don't care if A or M or Q or B or whatever was right about certain things. Who cares? You have no idea who it is. It could be Hillary. Imagine if Hillary, because she's not, I mean, she's conniving. She might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but there is conniving there. Toastmasters is very good. What are you trying to say? Do I not enunciate myself? Work on my public speaking. Why am I going to work on my public speaking? To work on my public speaking. So where are we going with this? So they're trying to go ahead right now, and they're trying to get Trump on the same thing they got Trump before. But we don't know if it's the military intel. We don't even know. It could be the deep state. There's a reason that even Mrs. Christine Assange is like, no, don't let Q tell you my son is safe. If anyone tells me trust the plan, I am looking the other way and running. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear trust the plan. It's like a cult mentality. Trust the plan. Trust the plan. L said that. LMNOP. QRST. Q. Don't, like, the thing is, like, trust the plan. It's all good. Don't worry. That's scary because it's not all good. It's not all good. Okay. We heard the other day Hillary's running in 2020. That's not good. Not good. Well, it's good for, I mean, it'd be hilarious, but trust the ham. Trust the ham. Oh, trust the ham. Trust the prosciutto. That's what I'm talking about. All right. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, so here's a Massachusetts woman. See, again, this is like the other side of the whole Massachusetts woman enraged by Trump bumper sticker intentionally rammed into car. So, why would you, like, how about vote? If you cannot beat Trump because you know there's no way to defeat him, then just put your, like address your anger, level your anger towards Democrats. You talk about Trump derangement syndrome beyond belief. Tatanka Custom Knives. Do you have an Instagram? I should. If not, you should. You're right. I should. If you ever come, if you ever come to Utah, I'll teach you how to build a knife and go throw some lead. Wow, very cool. Tatanka Custom Knives. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have this. So, Tatanka Custom Knives, thank you. We have this. Thank you very much. Greatly, greatly appreciated. We have this Massachusetts woman Massachusetts woman enraged by Trump bumper sticker intentionally rammed into car. What does it take? What does it take What does it take to go ahead and get a person to ram into a car? A Massachusetts woman was reportedly taken into custody on Monday after she allegedly drove into a car sporting a Trump bumper sticker. A 25-year-old woman followed an alleged hit and run in Hyannis on June 30th. After the incident, the man she reportedly hit contacted the Barnstable Police Department and recalled hearing a motorist behind him honking their horn as he waited at a red light. According to the police report, the honking continued. By the time he reached another red light, the motorist started shouting at him. Fearing that the alleged honking and shouting was regarding a problem with his car, the man reportedly got out, at which point the man said he heard the other motorist shouting about his bumper sticker supporting Trump. According to the report, she said, "You voted for Trump?" I said, "Yes." She called me a racist and several other names. Oh my God. Oh my God. Of course you're racist if you vote for Trump. You're just racist. You're racist. Hillary Clinton calls black youth super predators. Nah, not racist. That's insane. She bent my door and I had to lean back to avoid getting hit. She also hit the side of my car. Oh my God. So it's, this is just bizarre. I mean, the whole thing is bizarre. The whole thing is bizarre. So what they've done also, what's happening with the Democratic Party is they're so utterly corrupt, and what they've done is they've hidden behind bureaucracy for so long that now even diplomacy is considered, some horrible thing because it doesn't coincide with their allegiance to bureaucracy. So because the NSA is moderately confident Russia hacked the DNC, it's an actual attack on the country to inform us. It is an attack on the country to inform us that Hillary Clinton cheated or Debbie Wasserman cheated Bernie Sanders. It is an attack on the country. An actual attack on the country. Can you believe this nonsense? Can you believe how stupid people can be? How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? So they're now at obstruction of justice after Trump today, which was so beautiful, basically said to Sessions, stop this investigation. Stop the investigation. And then you have Mueller. Mueller's office flags alleged illegal foreign lobbying involving Tony Podesta, Vin Weber, and Greg Craig. I think two. Lord,
You do a lot of things.
2 of the 3 are Democrats. I think all 3. Let me see. No, wait, Vin Weber. Let me see, make sure. No, GOP Congressman Vin Weber. So 2 of the 3, though, one is Obama's lawyer, or an Obama lawyer. So you have an Obama lawyer, and you have Tony Podesta, who Mueller's office flags alleged illegal spying, illegal foreign lobbying involving Podesta, Vin Weber, Greg Craig. And this is all an example right now of, I mean, it's just all an example of everything just crumbling apart really quickly. Really quickly. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan is investigating whether 3 prominent power players engaged in illegal foreign lobbying. Well, we know Tony Podesta did. He did not register as a foreign agent, which is what they tried. What they tried to get Flynn on that. Most Americans agree with Trump, not Cohen. Taping clients smacks of trickery. Of course it does. You know what? This is, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on the 2nd hour of this, but this is why, this is what's really taking place. This is what's really taking place. Okay. They figured they could go ahead and they figured that they can go ahead and they look at Trump and they're like, oh, he's nasty. He's belligerent. He is so disgusting. He's vulgar. Let's go ahead and beat him at his own game. Let's see if we can be vulgar and nasty and bully the bully. What they don't realize is they've made him into a sympathetic figure to millions of people. Number one, he was never that bad of a guy. Even if you don't like his personality, he's never that bad of a guy. Floyd Mayweather Jr. was interviewed, and he said something very interesting. He said, "You never thought Trump was a racist before." He was actually interviewed, and then the interviewer was like, "Oh yeah, but he's racist. He's racist." And Floyd Mayweather Jr. said, "Well, no one ever called him racist before. No one ever said, 'Oh, you're a racist.'" That's what happens in our society now when you want to instantly marginalize anybody. My God. Oh my God. And it's not working. Elizabeth Luker. A lot of us just came over here after Uber Guy's show. Hope y'all are well. You good, HA? Sending love and blessings from Bama, Alabama. Looking forward to a great show. Elizabeth, I'm going to tell you a story right now. I've told people before, I think, but I'm going to tell you a story relates to Alabama right now. The Magnificent Tube. Many believe Assange was taken on or around October 16, 2016. He wasn't. Embassy raided internet down. No, he wasn't, because his mother would have said so, and WikiLeaks would have said so. But mainly his mother is begging people not to. Airport close happened after Podesta leaks, but before the election. Do you know of this theory? I've heard the Magnificent Tube. I have heard of that type of thing, but Assange's mother has said, do not believe any of it. That's another reason that I'm not really into Q at all. So thank you, Magnificent Tube. Elizabeth Luker! Elizabeth, thank you so very, very much. You're extremely kind as always, and you are awesome. The super chat gives me every incentive to rock these live streams. And just really, it's just amazing. Elizabeth, so this is an interesting story. So this is like about literally 20 years ago, actually 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago. I was in Israel, and I was in a kibbutz, and I was actually a counselor for this like 100+ teenagers going to Israel. And it was like kind of like this thing where they, they'd go to Israel and they'd tour from the north to the south, and it was pretty cool. It was very cool, actually. It was great experience. Anyway, it was like this Jewish thing, like Jewish teenagers. They'd never been to Israel, so they wanted to go, and like, these tours / cultural thing. So anyway, I'm at this kibbutz, and this guy, he has this Southern accent, and he's talking to us, and we're looking, and he has he's just open carry right there, the holster and the firearm, and we were just like looking, and he was talking, he had the Southern accent, and he was like sporting a Colt, just really cool firearm anyway. And he told a story, and somebody said, well, where are you from? He said, Alabama. And then I think it was me or somebody said, yeah, are you Crimson Tide fan or something? I think I might have asked him. I don't know. And he said he was neighbors with Bear Bryant. He was neighbors with Bear Bryant, and we used to swim in Bear Bryant's pool. I think I remember him saying that. I don't know if I remember. It was 20 years ago, but I do remember this guy in Israel was like, not only knew who Bear Bryant was, but was family friends with him. So I was like, wow, I mean, football, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. But then again, Elizabeth, you could be a Auburn fan, so then that story would not or could resonate, but Auburn, let's see. Auburn has some good players too. Obviously, Bo Jackson, Cam Newton. But Alabama is just it's just insane. It's like every year, every single year. USC used to be like that too, but then, but Alabama seems to just every year. Every single year. Elizabeth Luker, thank you. As always, A Sojourner, hello, A Sojourner. The POTUS just calling the Rush Limbaugh show. He's talking about shutting down the government. He wants to, so this is regarding the wall. He'll get the wall, and he'll offer, and I want dreamers to be citizens. And that's yet another thing Democrats will lose miserably on. So this is interesting. Yeah, I mean, the Manafort issue also, he might even lose the Manafort probe. I mean, the Manafort trial. So A Sojourner, yeah, that's true. He wants to go ahead and get funding for the wall. I do think that the really interesting thing will be when Democrats lose, and I'm on the RT network crosstalk stating that my last appearance. So you could splice up the video, and that'll be not tooting my own horn, but I was right about Tony Podesta. I was right about Clinton losing. I'll be right about that. I'll be right about Hillary getting indicted eventually. So obviously wasn't right about Bernie, but I didn't realize how bad he cheated. Anyway, bad DNC cheated. But anyway, so what am I doing? Go to the stupid, idiotic polls that are always wrong regarding midterms.
HBO now.
Quiet. The special election race in Ohio's 12th congressional district between Republican Troy Balderson and Democrat Danny O'Connor appears to be going right down to the wire. A Monmouth poll released Wednesday shows Balderson receiving 44% support, so that means he's up like 3. You just add like Connor Lamb won in Pennsylvania, by the way, after the incumbent Republican, and he barely won, barely. Because you want to know what the incumbent Republican did. He was cheating on his wife, and then he almost got the woman he was cheating on with his wife with pregnant. And he's a pro-life guy, religious guy, pro-life, and he told the woman to get an abortion. So the woman just called him out on Facebook. So the whole thing went to poop. I am Bama, and my hubby is Auburn. Nice. 6'7", 320. That's awesome. That is awesome. We call them house divided down here. Yes, I know many house divided. Not my house. We're just Trojans. But Ace Sojourner, Tommy Robertson is free. Yes, I am happy about that. I don't agree with some of what he said, a lot of what he says, but I am happy. I'm Bama, and my hubby is Auburn. 6'7", 328. Nice. Auburn boy, we call them a house divided. I support Auburn as well for 364 days. Well, that's good of you. The one day Iron Bowl, I stand firm in crimson and white. Well, that's nice of you to root for Auburn. I would never root for UCLA or, well, Notre Dame. I actually like Notre Dame, but obviously when SC is playing them, I root for SC. Nice. Elizabeth Luker. No, I know. Like, it's just Alabama. It's okay. Now I'm getting to, of course, sidetrack, but I have to. It just astounds me. And then you want to talk about Q and all this stuff. I have a theory. I'm not even going to give you my theory about why Alabama always never gets caught with sanctions, but whatever. Alabama and Jeff Sessions. Jeff Sessions. No, not. Alabama record year by year. This is insane. It's insane. This is insane. So this is just insane. So check from 2011 till now, they've, I think, lost. You can count the number of games like less than. Check this out. I'm sorry to do this if you're not interested, but check this out. This is for Elizabeth Luker. Okay. If you're in Alabama right now, you're watching this. You're a Crimson Tide fan. You're watching this. You're happy. 2008, 12-2. 2010, 14-0. 2000. Sorry, what am I reading? 2008, 12-2. 2009, 14-0. 2010, 10-3. 2011, 12-1. 2012, 13-1. Is insane. 2013, 11-2. 2014, 12-2. This is insane. 2015, 14-1. 2016, 14-1. 2017, 13-1. That is absolutely insane. Frank, Love your name. Jewish people are smart. You're a really good man. Others are full of gold, but I have never met a Howard Badman. Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Frank. And about 31458. If you don't know about me, channel, you ain't a Trojan fan. A Sojourner, BTW. The USA ambassador, by the way, the USA ambassador to the UK told the UK government that the USA is not happy about the treatment of Assange. Well, I hope so. Ann Robinson, I hope so. But since 2008, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They've only lost 14 games. That's crazy. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, I mean, if you're a Crimson Tide fan, it's now I don't want to poop on the parade, but now the question is, that's interesting. Just never get caught with anything. Okay, it's fine. Frank, thank you. A Sojourner, thank you. Elizabeth Luker, thank you so very much. I did my best to represent a little bit of the Crimson Tide right now with all of this. Loud Citizen, Democrats are playing catch with each other using live hand grenades. When their hands and faces are blown off, they blame Trump and keep playing. Pretty much. Pretty much. A Sojourner, thank you. Pretty much. Elizabeth Luker, SEC will always control college football. Well, just a heads up, in case you're and the Russians won those games for us. Nick Saban is a Russian spy. I knew it. Auburn, get him. That's the thing. That's the ticket. That's what I was waiting for. Sanctions. No. The Russians cannot influence college football. No, can't do it. And that's, I knew it. I knew something. I knew they went after us, USC. They go after Miami, everybody. But now I knew it. So now Mueller might lose the. Now Mueller might lose the Manafort case. So funny. The indictments will take place. We don't know when, but Hillary will be charged with the crime eventually. The writing's on the wall. She's committed too many crimes. There's too much evidence there. I'm looking at a t-shirt by. That's funny. So there is a True Pundit article. Well, federal prosecutors, the CNBC, said to be investigating lobbyist Tony Podesta. So it's all going down. And you talk about flipping. Notice how they don't talk about flipping and singing for all of Clinton's crimes. I love it. I love it. But now there's talk of like Rosenstein being involved years back, which I can't confirm, but I love Paul Sperry. Brendan's fingerprints all over Spygate scandal. Brennan, but GCHQ, of course. Brennan plus Fusion Cell. Obama briefs. Brennan plus Strzok. ICA. Brennan plus congressional briefing on dossier. Brennan plus Harry Reid pressuring Comey. Brennan plus Nellie Orr. Yeah. Well, the biggest lie told when Strzok was told, "Oh, we're going to stop Trump." Check this out. He said that it was, oh, the electorate will stop Trump. Oh, look. Oh. Touchdown, Alabama. Economist, Democrats +4. Well, that's bizarre. Why are they going down in the polls? Maybe because they're evil. Wah, wah, wah. So, Democrats up 4 in the Economist poll. What happened? Gee, that's too bad. If you're up 4 and you pretty much control the Washington Post, the New York Times, MSNBC, CNN, every other subsidiary bottom-feeding barnacle of a publication, and that's the latest poll. The average of polls. Of course, you need the Democrats up 12 like 2 weeks ago from Quinnipiac to... Hey, Sojourner. NorCal's burning down. I'm coming to your house. Be safe, hey, Sojourner. Be safe. Hey, Sojourner. Thank you, David. Thank you. Pete Carroll was awesome. Absolutely. He absolutely was awesome. He absolutely was awesome. Economist up 4. Democrats only up 4. I love it. They need to win 24 seats. So where is the enthusiasm going to come from? Throwing Coke at people? Ramming people with their car? We have a vision for the future. I'm going to throw Coke at people and ram them with a car. There is no vision. I missed some super chats. Okay. Papa D, as the Ramones would say. Just go ahead and... Thank you, Papa D. Frank, why don't you put on your favorite hat right now? The Make America Great Again? I don't have one actually, but you know what? I'll probably put one on. I'll probably put. I don't like Onward Together, or I don't like the propaganda phrases. Because we were great before, we're great now, we're a great nation. We're always a great nation. Obviously, you don't want Hillary as president, but thank you, Eric H526. Thank you. So If anyone wants a profanity alert shirt, I know they are expensive, but they're out now. I guess YouTube has a new thing, so I just signed up for it. So here's the thing. Here's the it's a Teespring. You can go ahead. It's connected to my YouTube account. I'm supposed to get a little icon either tomorrow. Thank you, Phoebe. Thank you. Thank you very much, Phoebe. Thank you. We're going to wrap this up soon. We are going to wrap this up soon. Let's just go ahead and make sure that. So, I mean, Trump started off the day, and he's allowed to fire anyone he wants within the executive branch, or that reports to him, or that is under his jurisdiction within the executive branch. So Trump just tweeted, worker pay rate, it hits highest level since 2008. Send this to a buddy of mine. Let's read this for a second. Loud citizen. Dems don't want an HRC airtight container. Why? Oh, my goodness. Well, the Democratic Party is controlled. So the employment cost index rose 2.8%. Worker pay rate hits highest level. Compensation for workers rose to a nearly 10-year high. As inflation pressures continue to percolate. Frank, love your live chats, but I think you need to get to the next level. Run for Congress in your district. That is. Thank you, Frank. I believe you may be brighter than Ocasio-Cortez, and she is running, or I am wrong. You know, I'll tell you, Ocasio-Cortez is a very intelligent individual. She's a very intelligent woman. I think that the problem with explaining the progressive explanation on things is that she has to realize she's not speaking to progressives. Bernie was actually good at, see, the thing is, when you focus only on single payer, you don't have a movement. When you focus only, so Frank, thank you so very much. People have told me that before, but thank you. Joseph Arbuckle, I appreciate that. Thank you. But what took place with Bernie, and now it's okay. What the progressive movement did pertaining to Bernie Sanders is they said, well, we're not going to talk about bringing our soldiers home or ending quagmires or ending counterinsurgency wars, which is what Bernie Sanders stated. He's against quagmires. He's against regime changes. So So foreign policy, there's no talk of foreign policy in progressive circles except hating Israel. That's literally the only foreign policy goal they want is hating Israel. It's like the only thing they care about. And when you put all your eggs in single payer, yeah, it sounds good. Like I have an uncle in France. He had $150 open heart surgery. It was $150, he told me. This was years back, but I don't know what it's like in France now. But the progressive message is not going to resonate if it's only single payer and if it's just hating Israel. There's no talk of breaking up too big to fail banks. There's no talk about reinstating Glass-Steagall. These are issues that a lot of conservatives wouldn't mind. A Sojourner, Ocasio-Cortez, is in an interview I've watched her do, she makes that more clear. When she stated that people are working 2 jobs, see, that was not the right response, but she was stating that they work 2 jobs, that they don't get paid enough in either job. That's what she was trying to say. And they still try to make ends meet. First of all, Bernie caved to Clinton, and his movement is now either completely destroyed or gobbled up by all the neoliberals or all the liberal Democratic establishment who basically utilize Bernie and that movement of people, progressive politicians, just to kind of drum up some base. And then if they're in a red state and they defeat a more centrist Democrat, they'll probably end up losing to the Republican in the red state, because you cannot have only one message of single payer. The most hardcore Bernie Sanders voters like myself are gone. We've moved to Trump, or we're just have contempt for a lot of actions that have taken place. Bernie pumping the Russia myth. What happens a lot with progressive politicians now, Ocasio-Cortez, and there's some others, that they focus only on single payer. So I'm spending a million years trying to be as thoughtful as I can. Frank, thank you. And A Sojourner, thank you. You cannot have any movement on one issue that not everyone is sold on government healthcare. So when I was a Bernie supporter, yeah, single payer healthcare, it's good if it works. But you can't have single payer healthcare and also have Max Boot's or Bill Kristol's foreign policy. It doesn't work that way. You have to say, bring soldiers home. You have to be against regime change. You have to not just, and the rebuttal to the payment can't be, well, we're going to slash the budget for the military. You should explain how you're going to, what are you going to do to ensure that you don't spend that much money? Well, how about bring soldiers home? How about ensure that there's no soldiers in Syria anymore? There's no soldiers in Yemen anymore. And we bring our soldiers home from Iraq and Afghanistan. What's wrong with that? That would resonate. That is a bold message that would resonate. And then you could say that'll pay for single payer, which will eventually save money. But they don't do that. Their foreign policies hate Israel. And then they're like, well, we're going to slash the budget. But they don't say we're going to slash the budget by bringing home soldiers, by limiting our military operations everywhere. Elizabeth Luker, a progressive socialist commie Democrat concept will never work in America, simply because that's not how we were founded or built on. So Elizabeth Luker, I do agree with you to a great extent, but also there's Social Security, there's Medicare, Medicaid, all of these things where there's that would be viewed as socialism or examples of socialism. So, Medicare, a lot of the New Deal, when you reach 65, okay, you'll get Medicare checks, but or Social Security. Sorry. You get Social Security. That's an example. That's an example. 62. Currently, the benefit age is 66 years and 2 months. Okay, so for people born in 1955. Okay, so when you reach 66, if you're born in 1955, it will rise to 67. Wow, for those born in 1960. Wow. So that's, but so I do agree with you, Elizabeth Luker. I do agree with you. Bible or traditions behind on your videos, moving to the far side of Saturn. The Democratic Party is guilty of projectionism. Absolutely, they take the abusive, corrupt behavior they are doing and then blame it on the conservatives. But we're more savvy. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, what they're doing. So Bible or traditions. Bible or traditions, and Elizabeth Luker, I agree with both of you. And Bible or traditions, what they've done exactly is sell uranium, then blame. Sell uranium, then blame Trump for colluding with Russia, which is the most stupidest thing ever. I swear when I heard about it in 2016, like I was like, what? They can't be serious. Bible or traditions, I was like, they can't be serious. What? And then everyone like, he did it. Like, where's the evidence? And then he did what? Like, colluded how? By letting us know that Bernie was cheated because of the DNC? Patricia Moreno, Cortez being used as a sheepdog, just like Bernie was. I agree. She hasn't even won the general yet. I think in her district she'll win. I don't know if she's opposed by anyone. She probably will be, but Cortez was thrown under the bus by Obama. Yeah, I mean, you don't see what did you see? James Comey was like, because James Comey knows that his behind is grass if a lot of these progressive candidates don't win. So James Comey is like, you shouldn't move to the left. You shouldn't move to the left. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I will explain, because I don't believe they're going to win. Democrats. You cannot have an altered 2016 with the most hardcore Bernie Sanders voters or Jill Stein voters gone. Because then you're going to get just people who like single payer and then just people who hate Israel. That both of those are not enough to win any election. And then Joe Crowley might run as independent. That's right. That's right. So Republican realistic about long odds against Ocasio-Cortez. And there's no way that a Republican's going to win. Yeah, there's no way. In the district there, no. Republican congressional candidate Anthony Papa says he knows he has almost no chance of beating rising Democratic star Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Yeah. But I think Joe Crowley is going to be like, you're not done with me yet. Obama endorses dozens of Dems, snubs Ocasio-Cortez. Well, because he's a threat. She's a threat to him. Harley Ruda is going up against a really awesome guy, Dana Rohrabacher. I want Dana Rohrabacher to win. I actually met Dana Rohrabacher years ago, 20 plus years ago, when I was studying in DC. Repeat my words. Well, Frank, I got to tell you, I honestly mean this, and I'm not. This has nothing to do with YouTube policies or anything, because I tried to convey that when somebody else told me. But Frank, I do believe that she's extremely intelligent. I think that the problem is, and Frank and everybody here, and Bible traditions. This also, well, actually, no, that's the Russia thing. Bible traditions. I agree with you regarding everything projectionism. Frank, this is the reason I think that people, or Ocasio-Cortez, and now Bernie is actually guilty of it also. You can't put all your eggs in single payer. That's not a pressing issue to, yes, healthcare is a pressing issue to the majority of the country, but it's not like single payer. Even if you implemented it, it would revamp everything within a month, a year, 2 years, 3 years. You're talking about a monumental overhaul. That's one of many monumental overhauls. The single payer was one of many. So Ocasio-Cortez made a mistake. Well, the progressive politicians of today are making a mistake putting all their eggs in one basket, because they've basically been, it doesn't upset the Democratic base. The Democratic base, if you said we're going to break up banks, which was Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders's, and even Alan Greenspan's position at one point, right after the Alan Greenspan was like, yeah, well, maybe we should break up banks. Too big to fail banks will be bailed out again. That is actually a position that a lot of conservatives are. I agree with that. That's important. That's one of the reasons I like Bernie. He wanted to break up too big to fail banks. It wasn't only single payer. That's the thing. But a lot of the progressive, like, political groups that popped up, and I was very vocal, a lot that popped up right after, like, single payer, single payer, single payer. I was like, well, wait, what? No breaking up banks? Okay, that's not part of your platform anymore. No reinstating Glass-Steagall, not part of your platform. No bringing home soldiers from war. No ending counterinsurgency wars. No ensuring you don't get into quagmires. So, and then you have the rebuttal. Hey, we have single payer in the VA, single payer of, and Medicare and all that stuff. Loud citizen. What? Frank, I got you just playing. I just can't get over Tom Perez saying she's because Tom Perez is lying. He's not telling the truth. He's lying. Tom Perez is no different from Debbie Wasserman Schultz. There's no difference between Tom Perez and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. There's no difference. That's why I keep saying, I said the only way to change the Democratic Party is to move against it. People are not going to give up power willingly in a political party. It doesn't happen that way. Even losing, you have to ensure that you do not coddle. That's why I was like, no, I'm not voting for her. I'm not voting for Clinton. Elizabeth Luker, I didn't see that. Social Security is nothing more than a Ponzi scheme. We, the U.S., can manage your money better than you can, dummy. Oh, the United States. Social Security. Thank you, Elizabeth. I missed your... Eric, let me know of this. So Eric H526, thank you. I missed some super chats. Thank you. And So Elizabeth Luker, thank you. Bible Traditions, thank you. Frank, thank you. The thing is, single payer is very popular for progressives. And it became more popular once Bernie was cheated and then he, backed Clinton because it didn't scare or frighten the Democrats. So they're like, well, this is an umbrella issue that everyone can, but that's not the way you should do things. But I'm not a progressive anymore, so I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. You're going to lose. Congress is going to stay red and going to remain Republican. There's going to be either Jim Jordan or Devin Nunes as Speaker of the House, or maybe Mark Meadows. And that's that. Jim Summers. Love Newport Beach, by the way. There's a billboard right here in Newport Beach that says 2 people I think Putin pays Dana Rohrabacher and Donald Trump with them looking face to face. Yeah, that's also the ridiculous. Yeah, Jim Summers, thank you. Love Newport Beach, by the way. Newport Beach is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Love the mall there, too. It's a beautiful mall. Absolutely beautiful. Jim, you're 100% right. I've seen something like that also. And Dana Rohrabacher is just awesome. I mean, he's been there, for how many years? 20 plus years? Newport Beach is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So let's just go ahead and let's see what. Of course, MSNBC is now, they have a thing called Conspiracy Machine. Chris Hayes breaks down the bizarre QAnon conspiracy theory. Okay, well, there you go. There you go. Are you sure that Hillary didn't start the Q thing? MSNBC is talking about it now. Oh, Chuck Todd points out that statements from President Trump's Florida rally are not normal, and we shouldn't be in the business of just shrugging our shoulders and normalizing it. But you normalize Hillary Clinton using a private server for convenience, that she deleted yoga emails. Do you think that's normal, Mr. Todd? Do you think it's normal that when you ask James Clapper, when he stated there's no evidence of Trump-Russia collusion, that you still talk about it? Oh, my God. Wow, Eric. Wow, that's pretty good. Wow. Everything yes, we've reached peak H.A. Goodman live chat now. We are rocking and rolling. And then, of course, they're touching themselves in ecstasy of how much better they are. Oh, I'll hear false or misleading claims, 4,229. Yet Hillary deleted yoga emails. Got it. Yoga in chief. That's actually the Washington Post. You wouldn't have Q. You would not have Q. People think like, oh, you know, like, oh my God, how come people believe in this Q thing? Well, because one reason is that you stated that the Steele dossier that Trump was peed on. And then you started an investigation regarding all of it. Well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to wrap this up. I want to thank you so very, very, very much. If you want a profanity alert t-shirt, I'll send you, the link is right here again. And so there it is. It's actually a pretty cool t-shirt. And Frank! Here's the deal with Q. If QAnon is such a joke, why report it? Why are all major publications writing about Q as a conspiracy recently? What does Mockingbird Media have to hide? But Frank, here's the issue. Here's the issue. And Frank, thank you so very much. Here's the issue. What happens is we are given a whole pile of manure and nonsense and Bandini all throughout the election from Clinton, from the mainstream media saying that Clinton is going to win, that there's nothing to Clinton's emails, all of these things. We are then obviously, thank you, Biagio, thank you. We are then obviously in need of some semblance of reality, some kind of answer to these questions, you know, to like, you know, when is there going to be justice? So when I go ahead and I say, look, you know what, Hillary will eventually be indicted, I list the crime she's committed, and I list the ongoing investigations right now. DOJ has one, Clinton Foundation, all of these things. Spinning plates, Peter Strzok, all of that. You know, I point to sources you can see, you know who I am, all these things. But what Q does is who knows what it is, who knows who it is. Even if it's right about certain things, the question is, who is it? What is it? That's all. It's a letter. That's the question. And it's happening now. Like, you know, it gains steam, goes to the Trump rally. And obviously, I'm not saying those people probably believed in Q, whatever. But the trust the plan stuff, it's dangerous because you don't know what's the plan. I don't even know what the plan is. Stock jockey, no. No relation. Tomorrow, sweet dreams. Good night. Frank, so you just, my thing is you just don't know. And now the left is like, look at them, they're all Q. And we don't know what it is. Frank, thank you. Everyone, thank you. It has been an amazing live to my super chat. Frank, Elizabeth Luker, everyone, thank you so very, very much. God bless you all. Thank you so very much. Thank you for watching. You have a great evening. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you tomorrow. And thank you so much again. Have a great, great, awesome evening.